Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac. This is Limbus Company Twining Threads. In the last episode, Matthias is the worst. Not that we had any doubt on that, but he really lets his whole thing with the middle... He ruined Ryoshu's school days, let's go with that. 9.58 Miseries. Well, that sounds like a fantastic topic, doesn't it? Okay, and that about wraps up the middles corridor. Thanks to you folks who managed to cut the door cataloging workload by 80%! I really appreciate everyone going the extra mile to check each and every door too. Made my life a whole lot easier. It's all thanks to the manager's excellent strategization. Next up, the thumbs corridor, but we actually found a lot of intel lying around there, so we just need you to check some of the doors in its basement. Intel? The manager expresses interest in the aforementioned intel. In the Thumbs corridor, we came across a bundle of papers detailing the comings and goings of the Thumbs members and the orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the logs has been diligently keeping them updated. The last entry was written not so long ago. While the contents of the notes weren't all that interesting, they helped us get an idea of where each door in that corridor leads to. Villain seen as shitty scrap papers. She'd been keeping up with that useless shit this whole time. Useless shit? Remnants of her desperate search for a thread to cling to. We found one of her backup ticket hoards. I've marked any doors that need to work with a drone. There should be about 3 or 4 of them. Well, you guys do that. I've got some leftover work to take care of here, so... I've been noticing throughout our interactions, but whenever anything irrelevant to his work came up, Alan seemed to have a way of unhearing and maneuvering right past it as though he didn't even register what was said. Recalling our conversation with Cesara back at P-Corps, that deeply uncurious indifference might just be one of the essential personality traits to go on as a corporate employee in the city. Understood, we will explore the areas past the marked doors and return here. Thanks a ton, well... With Alan returning to where the other Wayfarer and company employees were huddled around, we decided to follow the corridor to the left. Won't you need to hang out around the corridor in order to turn it off whenever we bring people back? Because that seems to be the common theme here. We keep bringing people back. Hey, there's someone in there. More of the ring, maybe? Going by their silhouettes, they're unlikely to be members of the ring. Come on, lady, get out of my way so I can see. It's the detective, some stubbly guy I don't know, and that annoyingly airy dude. Sounds like Moses, Gregor, and Honglu, respectively. The trio's conversation grew clearer the closer I approached them. Wait, so Gregor's actually... Well, I guess they said physically he's okay. It's the mental destruction that where he's not quite over yet. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Fine as a fiddle, it was just a minor fall. This is the 3rd time it's occurred. We ought to discuss this issue with the manager once this consultation is over. I think I'm seeing a bump on the side of Song Honglu's head. Anyway, you know what to do, right? If at any moment you see signs that... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explanation and the footage both. You're going to be fine again. I believe in you. Look at you now, we're right here where it happened, but your arm is stable, see? Ironically, fear tends to grow most unmitigated when it is distant and unseen. I understand what you might be worried about, but I don't see even the earliest portents of it. So don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise while you're in here. I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm still having a hard time believing it. I don't know, maybe I'm just avoiding the truth when it's me staring me right in the face. My case is nothing like Don Quixote's. She just needs to keep her shoes on, and it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way for me. Whatever they're talking about sounds hella deep, guys. You sure about eavesdropping on him like this? Oh. That geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him. He's saying such an IS about himself once. Why walk away? Don Quixote gives a nonsensical interpretation of Ryoshu's acronym as Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering sinners and Kira, however, Uta stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her face. She is listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor, like a woman possessed. Okay, let's keep listening then. Unis was right. Damn it, she was right all along. The war isn't over. It never was. And it can't be over as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully it's becoming easier to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight just fine so far. How? I don't mind fighting hostiles or enemies. I'm not the kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. But killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? I can't even control it. There's nothing I can do to even brace for it. It's unstoppable, like some kind of time bomb counting down to unleash a disease. You never know when its symptoms will set off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people began to spiral into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawing a hard, straight line. Besides, Gregor wasn't wrong in that at present there wasn't any way to stop his transformation should it occur again. We've still got a good chunk of the journey left, and eventually we'll have to. No matter what lurks in the past of us sinners, even if they have killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will you still embrace them? We'll eventually have to confront an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that great and inevitable pressure? They thought that World War I was going to be the absolute worst of all world wars. And then it led to a sequel, World War II. That's the equivalent of looking at Sinclair's identity passive and reading, "Wait, what do you mean there's a second smoke war?" Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that inevitable pressure? I see. You're afraid you'll end up hurting us. Well, at first I thought I couldn't give a hoot whether I accidentally murdered some of you. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Onglu. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off to a rockin' good start. But through our journey, I've begun to think of you all as my comrades. And I was okay with that because I had too much faith in my own weakness. When I realized I'd grown so weak that I couldn't even take down some backstreets thug with this arm, I was relieved. Imagine that. The same arm, my arm, a weapon that stabbed the heart out of countless people during the smoke war. I'll be honest, when that unarmed fella said I was an exception, the thought alone made me hope. Exception. A potential to be harmless, weaker than even a non-combatant like he's saying. It made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know how that went though, don't we? Blew up in the worst possible way. And after all that, I just couldn't bring myself to fight again. Because I no longer know when this fear would meet me up again. Because I'm constantly afraid of this damn gift manifesting again. The same fear you've carried all this time. How did you endure it before? Badly. Barely. holding on to the idea that the living's gotta live on and nothing else. Ugh. This really brings me back years. The memories are so clear it's like they all happened yesterday. Ugh. Best you kick me off the bus before push comes to shove. That can't be the answer, Gregor. You can walk away, but the danger of our journey won't leave with you. Dante and the rest of us will still be facing an endless repeat of peril. And it's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur, even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same can't be said for most people in the city. Now that's something I never expected to hear from you. I guess you're right. If we're seeing this through to any kind of end, this would be the place to do so. Not many places in the city have some warmth to them like this one does. Boy, this consultation thing's pretty embarrassing. I mean, it's not like I was forced to go through something as traumatizing as yours, Onglu. Truth be told, I'm not some special case. Everyone who participated in that war must have gone through more or less the same experience. Miss Moses, Sudis, and even Valencia, that piece of work. We can't attach a number to our misfortunes as if there's something to be measured. Yeah, this is the one thing that I don't get about assigning Rodion as the thumb nurse father. Or more accurately, making Utus Matthias, because it really feels like she would have fit better as a Valencina. Or maybe she is just so fundamentally opposed to clinging to the glory of the Smoke War it would be a violation of her actual character. We can't attach a number to our misfortunes as if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my eyes from it, but you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from the past, you'd come to a pause, despair, look toward the path you had walked. All those years I let slip by, all those that slipped you by are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, if there's one thing common to everyone, it's that trauma leaves the after effects that linger for a long time. What's yours? I dislike loud noises and people who talk too much. They sound too much like the cacophony of the war, like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying, and the wounds they left in my heart bled me dry. But I thought you were fond of Miss Ezra, Miss Moses. I've talked too much. That aside, haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come out from that corner you're hiding in. Oh man, they knew we've been dropping eaves this whole time? I was actually waiting for just the right time to come out and say a few words, but I couldn't find an appropriate moment to. Ah well, I would have had to share this with Manager Bud or the rest of you fellas sooner or later. So I don't really mind, but what's she doing here? T.A. Temporary ally? No, temporary accompaniment. Don't be an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Whew, pleased to make your acquaintance. You're right on time. I've been working on a theory, but I don't have all the clues to be absolutely certain. Word from someone in the know might improve my confidence in the theory. Oh wait, no, it may immensely improve it. That's an entirely different thing. Kira, do you know which door the Thumb's nurse father was most attached to? Huh? No, duh. Duh? That's supposed to be obvious. Didn't you guys all see her? You think I'd just chat up a scary lady like that? Dude, she was beating the level of a shit out of Lucio every time I saw him together. Oh yeah, he went down fighting you guys to the end, huh? Ugh. Yeah, said something about her generosity and all that, and fought till he died. Damn, that's unexpected. Being real for a sec here, I thought he was totally gonna swap sides. Really? That lad? And why is that? You know, the vibes. You guys don't know because you haven't seen him long without the scary lady always looming over him. What's up? Gonna stab her right in the spine? You! Look, I think you might be training wrong because you're like not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about sword swings from this comic book. That is not how my masters instructed me. The textbook cannot be permitted to have even a single deviation, if it means to repay the debt it owes her. Why are you so obsessed with all that crap anyway? You don't even like that old lady. But you're not so different from me in that regard, are you? Bro, what the heck are you talking about? I love my papa. Seriously, I thought things were gonna crash and burn before Yoshihide even came home. Suppose textbook and I had that in common. If this one doesn't know, let me redirect the question towards you, Cineryoshi. Hopefully this touches upon one of your more intact memories. Do you know which of these doors the thumb nurse father showed particular attachment to? Or the door she used most often? Why ask me? Fine. Yes, I do remember. Don't even need clock's help to piece it back together. It's that one. The door with metal pieces hanging from it. Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, fucking fly. Where did those G-Core fucks even drag those gross pests from? Mom, are you okay? Do I look okay to you, Ticket? No, not really. I'm fine, you know I don't break easily. You should have been there to see me tear the head off that G-Core vermin, Ticket. But Mom, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, they really can't do shit without me here. So much for a break. The fuck is this? Bandages for you. Is this kid serious? They got truckloads of expensive treatments on the ready to patch me up the moment I get back to the field. Well, okay. Never mind that. Hey, this works. Mom? Sit tight. Don't start any trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques once I'm back. Must have been here years in the smoke wall. Yeah. Oh dear. Having two softly but forcefully spoken voices, female voices at once, isn't good for me because I can't distinguish the two of them. Fighting in this war took a lot out of her and left her perpetually exhausted. But she marched to every battle with a smile. Stopped drinking. Stopped beating me too. Like a blissful idiot who forgot she was still neck deep in the inescapable pit called the House of Spiders. Well, the ironic peace didn't last. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consigliere of the Thumb visited the House of Spiders as a tutor. And that's when she went right back to drinking herself into a shit-faced stupid day after day. The beatings returned. So did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on. Why though? Sure, I was on the losing side. But wasn't Valentina on the winning side? War hero at that. Ever heard of the regulation that prevents smoke wall participants from moving into I-core and K-core nests? Oh shoot. The common thread between these post-war rules is they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. I see, there must have been things going on behind the scenes there too. But doesn't that mean the back door will drop us into a trench they dug during the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Wait, me? Yes, others can do it for you, but what would be the point? You sure this won't just end up giving him more nightmares? I don't see how this helps him in any way. We do not have any means to treat whatever it is that slumbers within his arm. However, I would surmise that the underlying cause of his sudden transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past. It's the other way around, isn't that so? If you can come to understand the war is really over, and that what others say, no matter how closely they echo the past, is not necessarily aimed at you, then you may be able to loosen your grip on the fear and anxiety that your arm could metamorphose at any time. While her suggestion may seem blunt, it is one of the basic treatment principles of MCOR's psychotherapy centers. Oh, I thought of a little interesting tidbit. But I have to address it after we're done with this cutscene. Fine, then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grasped its handle, then paused, taking slow, deep breaths. Then, with one arm, he gently opened the door. Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with that G-Corps banner held high. I don't want to die. It's nice to have a place to go back to. Alright, happy 15th birthday. But you can't possibly have the cheek to call me cruel. You G-Corps pests were far more messed up than I ever was. Ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You are nothing but a swarm of fucked up monsters. Thought I'd woken up from a dream, but I was still... Oh, you had better not be doing what I think you're doing. Okay, at least it's... If it's Blunt last Gloom Week, then it shouldn't be him again. Hopefully. Please. Well, I have the option to talk about it now, so, back to here. Take reduced damage from burn, bleed, tremor, and rupture rounded down. Take reduced damage from burn, rupture, sinking, stagger threshold, and bleed. You get what I'm saying here? He is not resistant to sinking. It's because Moses was able to crack his moonstone, which is supposed to protect you from this sort of stuff. That's really interesting, and unfortunately I'm not the one who discovered that. Alright, so you know what? We have the chance. Let's look at one of the new identities. Let's look at... Wait. Oh, Mersault is a... Oh. Wait, what? Oh, Mersault is a disposed character. Okay, well, that changes things, doesn't it? Ring for the student Mersault. School of Forcism, the ring, the fingers. Rough portrayal. Deal 5% damage for every type of negative effect on the target. Coin power +1 for every bleed plus sinking on target. Inflict bleed, inflict sinking, and bleed count. Well, count for both bleed and sinking. Visceral strokes. 4+4 skill, so rolls of 16 max. Deal 5% more damage for every type of negative effect on the target. If the target doesn't have mold color rouge, gain clash power. coin power for every bleed and sinking on target for a maximum of 2. Inflict a bleed, and sinking. Inflict simply count and sinking. Deal 10% more damage for every type of negative effect on the target. Final power +1 for every bleed plus sinking on target. Less than 50% HP, or if the target is 5+ mold colors. Use coin 3 an additional time. All coins on this skill translate to unbreakables. On hit with the additional coin, randomly inflict mold color on target divided by 3, bleed or sinking, maximum of 3 each rounded down. Interesting. Inflict mold color rouge on that final coin, but also bleed and sinking, bleed count and sinking count. Coloring preparations. If this unit has Flephosme Masque des Chiens, base power +2. If the target has bleed and sinking, gain coin power. Inflict a bleed, inflict a sinking. On hit with a base skill, inflict mold color rouge. That doesn't sound like it has any limitation to how much mold color you can stick down. This does count as inflicting negative effects with a skill. It's not a unique bleed though. Max stack 9. When hit, gain bleed potency for every stack. Gain defense level down next turn for every 4 stacks. But only once per turn, that's very important. If this unit has inflicted 10+ mold color rouge during this encounter, gain Masque des Chiens. Extra damage for every mold color on the target. Inflict more bleed and sinking potency with base skills. Before hitting with a base skill, if target doesn't have bleed, inflict 2 bleed count on the target. That's really handy because one annoying thing about bleed is that it always starts at 0. Although I suppose it's not going to stick around for long if it's only 2 bleed count. In fact, I almost feel like it should be after hitting a target with a base skill. If they didn't have bleed to start with, inflict 2 bleed count. At coin start of critique, gain imperfections addressed. Oh right, that's Rodian's nonsense. Deal 10% damage. On reuse of her critique, heal 3 SP. If she does not have reflection, this expires. Interesting, so he's really going to rely on you having picked up Rodian. If this unit has Masque des Chiens, inflict a +1 mold color. Every time inflicting 4 mold color, heal 5 SP twice per turn. Does that mean, do the applications add up over time? So if you only score 2 hits on one turn, scoring 2 hits on the next one will give you the SP? If this unit's SP is at max, gain 1 blind damage up next turn when healing SP with this effect, but once per turn. 1 ally with fastest speed, inflict defense level down for every 2 types of negative effect on the target. I guess I'll have to save up for that because we want that bonus. I wish that this had dropped ego, honestly. I really wish it had at least 1 ego so it didn't There's a lot of yield bonus identities here. But either way, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.
생명이 정지하면 그 순간 작품을 만들 기회도 흩어지니 그러니 순간순간을 오롯이 작품에 투자해야만 하오.